Fishing can provide good food in survival situations. Survival kit fishing tackle or improvised hooks, lines, spears, or traps and nets can be used to catch fish. Fish may feed wherever they happen to be. However, good places to find them are in deep holes and at points where water sources enter and leave lakes or ponds. Fish like to hide in the shade at the foot of cliffs and under fallen trees. They like to bed around rocks and boulders, too. Practically all flowing bodies of fresh water and salt water contain fish. Choose a likely spot to fish. Now prepare your equipment. Trim a willow or other springy pole. Make a line from your parachute shroud line. You can use a single strand of the shroud line as a light fishing line, or the whole inner cord of it as a heavy line. Stretching the line helps remove wrinkles. You'll have to improvise hooks if you don't have an emergency fishing kit. This one is made from a ration can key. You can make hooks from safety pins. Or pins on the parachute ripcord, and you can use bone or hardwood. A pole with a small branch, some safety pins and shroud line will make a rod. Safety pins tied to the pole serve as guides. The small branch serves as a reel. Note that it must face the tip of the pole at a slight angle. Now this is no sportsman's dream, but it gets food. Successful fishing depends a lot on bait. Nature provides many varieties. One of the most widely found is the earthworm. Worms can be found in soft earth, under fallen timbers, and under rocks and clumps of grass. Insects, small frogs, crayfish, minnows, and cut pieces of fish or meat can be used as bait. If you can't find live bait, improvise. Even a feather or pieces of colored inner cord from a parachute shroud line tied to a hook makes an artificial bait. If fish don't bite one bait, try something else. The opener strip from a ration can makes a spinner. Just punch holes in the ends and attach hook and line. Fish can be speared in shallow water near ripples or where the water runs shallow over rocks or sand. A spear or gaff can be easily constructed. One good way to make a spear or gaff is by using the frame from the pilot chute of your parachute. This spear is made of several pieces of a pilot chute frame driven into a pole and sharpened to a point. You can sharpen the point with a rock or by beating it. Using the same pilot chute frame, you can make a gaff by simply bending the frame into a U shape. The gaff is best used on large fish. Where bamboo is available, it makes a good spear. You just shape several prongs on one end and hold over a flame to harden. There are several fairly simple types of fish traps you can make with limited materials. Here's one made of 3 parachute panels. Take 3 chute panels and stitch the edges together with shroud line to make a triangular shaped trap. Tie the small end closed. A weight attached to the closed end helps hold the trap in place. The large end is held open by 3 sticks tied to the edges. The 2 bottom corners are weighted down. Cut some small holes in each side of the trap to allow water to flow through. Tie some bait in a scrap of parachute and secure it near the small end of the trap. Covering the bait allows the fish to smell it, but prevents eating it. This trap may catch food other than fish, such as crabs, turtles, and snakes. It can be used as a drag net on smooth-bottomed areas. Here's one version of how to make a gill net. Start by stretching a piece of shroud line between 2 trees. This first cord determines the length of the net. Now take several pieces of inner cord, double them, and tie prusik knots along the main cord. Tie a prusik knot like this. Pull both strands through the loop at the top. Take strands over top of main cord and drop them back through the loop and tighten. The distance between these prusik knots determines the size of the net's mesh. Now, starting from the right, take the second and third cords and tie a simple overhand knot to form a V about 2 inches deep. Take the fourth and fifth cords and tie the same way. Keep tying cords in this manner to form the mesh, tying the 2 cords next to each other together. After the top row, the ties form a diamond-shaped mesh. Tie another shroud line across the length of mesh at the bottom to finish the net. One advantage of this overhand gill net is that if necessary, more than 1 crewman can work on it, even though injured and unable to forage for food. Weights are tied at intervals along the bottom of the net to hold it down in the water. Floats are tied to the top of the net to stretch it and help keep it in position. The net should be placed in a stream at an angle of 45 degrees to the bank, with the outer end downstream. Placing it at this angle lets floating objects and debris go by without tearing the net or moving it. Tie the shore end to a tree or rock. Tie the outer end to the opposite bank, or in larger streams, hold the outer end by putting an anchor out from the end float on the net. This net catches fish by the gills and holds them. This net can also be used on ocean beaches. On the beach, It should be placed at a 90-degree angle to the shore to avoid riptide. An old standby and a reliable fish getter is the trot line. All you have to do is tie several hooks, each on a short line of about 12 inches, onto the trot line at approximately 3-foot intervals. Bait the hooks with any available bait, and the trot line is ready to set. It can be tied to an opposite bank or anchored. One big advantage of the trot line is that it can go unobserved in escape and evasion situations. Don't overlook any opportunity to catch fish. You find them in practically all waters, and they're high in food value.